Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. So today I actually had the great experience of talking to the same student that I was talking to last week from Kiev. And something interesting that we were talking about was this idea of sharpening the saw. So as you can see, we didn't add anything to the checklist that we had been working on from last week. And it was actually interesting that we didn't. Now, the idea of sharpening the saw is that sometimes when you are working, like chopping down trees, you have to sit down and you have to sharpen the saw, because if you try to cut a tree down with a dull axe, then you won't be able to cut it down, or at least it will take a long time. But if you periodically stop and sharpen the saw, it can be really helpful, and eventually you'll be able to cut the tree down faster. And the idea of these checklists to some extent is that you will be sharpening the saw. Now, if you go through this idea, for example, like what results are each of the members of a product, IT department product team working toward, then it's great that the product manager who owns the problem understands exactly what he wants or she wants from the designer, the software engineer lead, the analyst, and the marketer. The question is, do they know what they want? Do they know what they want from each other? Do they understand what the product manager is looking for? And also, interestingly, can they talk about how they support each other? So this is one of those sharpen the saw exercises where now the manager, after talking with the coach, should take a blank checklist, a blank table, and have a meeting and talk to the members of his team and ask them one by one what is their understanding of what the results they are working toward and how are those results going to be used. And then compare the answers that they come up with the answers of the manager. Also, as we went through some of these ideas about innovation, these are other things that can be brought up in a meeting. So you can ask your designer, what does it mean to imitate? You can ask your software engineer, what does it mean to imitate? So he was talking about build your own, copy, buy, or lease. These are the kind of the standard opportunities you have when it comes to software. There were some other ideas that came with designing products. And so this is the thing. So this has led me to add a few more sentences. Well, first of all, we're talking about an insight mapping methodology. Now, from the C-level managers, we're talking about frame business endeavors. Now, I think if you're at the C-level, you should understand the word endeavor. Now, in these middle level managing, we have map teams and innovation, create data-driven decisions, and drive results and overcome challenges. You can see that one builds on the next. So you have to frame the endeavor first, and then you can map the team and innovations, and then you can create the data-driven decisions, and then you can drive results and overcome challenges. So I was able to, actually it was my student that helped me to focus on this idea. This course will help managers overcome structural and intellectual barriers so they can achieve their goals. All right, so this helps managers achieve goals. This will also give managers a set of tools to coach the people they manage. And how do you do that? So first, find your current level of management. And that was, in this case, we were talking about a guy who's in the development level. Second, use the checklist as a brainstorming tool with a coach. Okay, so we did that. Third, or next, use the checklist with the people you manage. Okay, so that's what I just talked about, is now he needs to take the opportunity to take these checklists and talk to the people that he manages. And then finally, learn the checklist at the next management level down and go through the above process again with members of your team at that management level. So you have to coach people with the tools that can be helpful to them as they work with the next level down. All right, so this is kind of the picture of what this course, this set of courses is going to be about is starting to come together. The ideas are becoming more clear. And eventually we're going to get into these one-pagers, because it seems like sometimes the checklists are a little bit too robust, a little bit too long.